I said on day one, this was illegal. What the FBI did, they would have to return these items. They cannot simply steal items of a safe deposit box. A Court of Appeals judge has agreed as well. All right, let me remind you of what happened. Here it is.
I felt misled. I felt just angry, I'm still angry. At the FBI, they feel like they can get away with anything. And I just feel like it's unfair. They raided the U.S. private vaults back in 2021. My husband and I did have a box there. We put it there because we thought it was a safe place and it would be, it would be convenient for me as far as not being able to go get money out so easily. We found out through the local news. My husband watching the local news, and he just called my name and he said, "Look, this is our place. This is the U.S. private vault." And I just couldn't believe it. I really didn't believe it. And I sat down and started watching the news with him. And it was actually the FBI is raiding our private vault place. They didn't tell us why they took our money. They haven't told us why as of yet.
Unfortunately, this is legal. Civil forfeiture is a process in the United States where law enforcement can take property from people who have never been charged with a crime. And the type of forfeiture that our client Linda Martin finds herself in now is called administrative forfeiture, where no judge is involved, no standard of decision, no hearing, no judicial review, no internal appellate review, except for a request for reconsideration. And it's really a system where the agency is not only the prosecutor, judge, and jury, but also, if you can imagine a governor or a president thinking about giving a pardon. In administrative forfeiture, they have decided already they get to keep the property forever unless they decide to give it back out of the goodness of their heart.
According to the federal court, they stole $86 million, a bunch of jewelry and gold bars. All right, let's get into it. The FBI violated private citizens' constitutional rights when it seized contents from hundreds of safe deposit boxes during a 2021 raid at a Beverly Hills business suspected of money laundering. A federal appeals court ruled last week, quote, "This is a resounding victory, not just for our clients, but for the hundreds of people who've been stuck in a nightmare for years because of what the FBI did." Institute for Justice Senior Attorney Rob Frommer, who represented several plaintiffs, said in the case, he told this to Fox News. Now, I want to remind everybody, the theory presented by the FBI was that, well, because the people who own the company that owns the safe deposit boxes, because that person is under investigation, by extension, the individuals have these private boxes, they are now privy to search, seizure, et cetera. Well, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. That's unreasonable because those individuals have an expectation of privacy. Okay, so their expectation of privacy is pretty clear when you have a box that has a lock on it and you have the key and nobody else can get in. Expectation of privacy established. And so in order to go into those safety deposit boxes, you would thus need a warrant for each person you search. This was clear in 2021. The law is not ambiguous here. They decided to continue anyway, all right? The US Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals found the Bureau violated US private vaults, box holders' Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures by opening and cataloging the contents of 1,400 safe deposit boxes without individual criminal warrants for each. The January 23rd ruling reversed a 2022 lower court decision siding with the FBI and requires federal officials to destroy any inventory records of the hundreds of box holders not charged with the crime. Agents took about $86 million in cash from the boxes in the March 2021 raid, as well as a trove of jewelry, gold bars, coins, silver, and other valuables. In May of that year, the FBI, quote, commenced administrative forfeiture proceedings against an unspecified number of boxes, according to court documents filed by the government. So beyond just the privacy dynamic, the people who were being investigated did not own said property. And so you have all of these individuals caught up for years in this FBI raid and debacle. The court finally weighs in, overturns it, but suffering has taken place. The forfeiture rule should be completely done away with. It is one of the most antithetical notions to due process I could think of. And due process says, hey, if you're going to take away someone's liberty, meaning freedom, property, okay, or life, they have certain rights, and there must be a process inside of a judicial arena. Well, this lacks all of that. All right, Ben, thoughts here?
Yeah, it's just basically the feds trying to run amok and do what they like with impunity and take people's property and not care about the individual. It's just frustrating time and again when you see law enforcement, no matter whether it be on a local level or a federal level, straight up trying to show that they lose sight of their main goal, which is to take care of the people who they are charged with. That's the individuals in every case. And instead, they want to take their stuff instead of take care of their stuff. And it's just disappointing, but not surprising.
Yeah, and it did not seem to add any investigative prowess to what they were seeking. All right, it didn't seem to do that at all because these individuals weren't connected to a money laundering scheme.